Coming up, it's primary election day across the state, and here on the Suncoast, we'll have a live report from outside one of the polling stations. Plus, new numbers on sick seabirds as red tide continues to kill marine life. And a woman appearing to be tied up on a doorbell surveillance camera wanders off without a trace. Your Suncoast News starts now.
You're watching ABC 7 News at noon.
Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks so much for joining us. Our top story today at noon, it's primary day across Florida, and voters are heading out to the polls, which are open until 7 o'clock tonight. ABC 7's Marla Spence joins us live from the First Presbyterian Church in Sarasota, just one of the many polling stations open today across the area. Marla?
Hey Scott, I'm live at Precinct 209, and the parking lot here is starting to fill up as people make their way inside polls. Now, I spoke to some voters who say some of the biggest issues drawing them to the polls are environment and education.
In this election, I think the school board makes a huge difference. I think that's where our future is, and we need to, make sure that our school board has our students' best interest in mind and not the teachers' union's best interest in mind. So
we have to start somewhere, correcting some of the problems. And if we don't take care of the environment pretty soon, it's going to be too late.
Just like these voters, many others tell us today's primary election is as important as any other election. Before polls were open, we spoke to Ron Turner, the supervisor of elections for Sarasota County. He tells us the county is on pace to have a record turnout for this year's primary election.
We've had more than an 18% turnout before we got into election day even, which is a great turnout. We've had more than 40,000 vote-by-mail ballots returned. For in-person early voting, we had 14,003 people that showed up to vote at our sites.
Turner encourages everyone to get out to the polls today, even if you're not affiliated with the party.
So if you're no party affiliation, sometimes people call it independent, but it's really no party affiliation. Or if you're registered with a minor political party, you can still vote today.
And those with vote-by-mail ballots, it's not too late to send those in. To make your vote count, all you have to do is drop them off at any county elections office by 7 tonight. Reporting live in Sarasota County, I'm Marla Spence for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
All right, Marla, thank you. As she mentioned, polls are open until 7 o'clock tonight. Voters will be selecting party nominees for governor, agriculture commissioner, attorney general, congressional seats. Independent voters will weigh in on nonpartisan ballot issues like school board races, judicial vacancies. In Sarasota, Manatee counties, voters will also be choosing nominees for several school board and commission seats. And we'll have all the results as soon as they come in live in our 7 and 11 o'clock newscast this evening, as well as online and in the ABC 7 app. Happening across the state, many people have already voted through mail-in or early voting. Nearly 2 million Floridians casting their ballots before today. A Florida State University political science professor says the rise in early voting means campaigns need to get their messages out even earlier than normal.
Generally, people who vote early or absentee would have voted anyway. So sometimes it's a substitute rather than an addition. So if indeed we see more people voting in person, then that'll be quite terrific.
And as Marla mentioned, if you still haven't mailed in your mail-in ballot, you need to turn those in by 7 o'clock tonight at a polling location. Right now, many Longboat Key residents are concerned about the future of sea level rise. Environmental experts sharing a study that shows a sea level rise of 7.5 inches over the last 70 years has happened on Longboat Key. The northern section of the key has the lowest areas and more prone to flooding, while the southern part and middle sections of the key are a little higher.
The good news is that the rate has been very low relative to other parts of the country. And while we have seen a slight increase in the rate of sea level rise over the last 8 to 10 years, even that rate is still low.
Folks were pleased that Longboat Key is approaching the conversation and looking at what very practical measures can be made to mitigate some of the effects of a rising sea level.
This sea level rise assessment is something Longboat Key town officials are hoping they can look at every 5 to 10 years. More results from the study will be released during a public meeting at the town hall coming up in October. The red tide outbreak has impacted dolphins, manatees, sea turtles, and millions of fish, and now it's impacting our seabirds. 54 shorebirds have been brought in to save our seabirds in Sarasota as of today, all of them suffering from the effects of red tide. 13 of the birds have died, but the rest are showing signs of recovery.
We don't really know why it happens like this, just all of a sudden. It seems that the neurotoxins may be built up. They've been ingesting these fish and, toxic things for the last 3 weeks.
If you see any birds in distress, pick them up with a towel or a piece of cloth and then bring them to Save Our Seabirds for treatment. Red Tide has canceled this year's Aquapalooza event on the New Pass Sandbar. It was set for this weekend. The party is traditionally in shallow waters between Lido and Longboat Key. The event had already been rescheduled from earlier this month, but organizers say they do not plan on trying to choose a new date. Red Tide also claiming a local sailing event. The Sarasota Sailing Squadron canceling the 72nd Labor Day Regatta this weekend. Organizers blame Red Tide and a no swim advisory for the cancellation. The regatta is a Sarasota tradition. It's the oldest and largest regional sailing event in the Southeast. Manatee County's efforts against red tide now in what's called maintenance mode. Instead of hiring a company to pick up dead fish in canals and waterways, the county's now moving forward with a Neighbors and Nets program. Basically, the county will provide nets and buckets for volunteers who want to help clean up any dead fish found. Those supplies can be picked up at any of the 15 dumpster locations at boat ramps across the county. So from a medical perspective, what are some of the things you need to know about red tide? ABC 7's Ray Collins spoke to a doctor this morning who specializes in lung disease. Ray?
Scott, this pulmonary physician says since the return of red tide a few weeks ago, he has seen a spike in patients with existing lung issues. Dr. Faisal Ahmad moved here from Nevada 2 years ago. He says out west he dealt with a lot of patients having issues involving smoke from wildfires, but here it's all about red tide in Florida. His advice, he says, it's most important you limit your exposure.
You can be exposed to the toxin by swimming in red tide, you can eat shellfish, etc., and cause problems for yourself that way, or inhaling it. And the best way to help yourself is probably to limit that exposure.
Dr. Ahmad says if you experience shortness of breath and a cough a day after red tide, you may want to then call your doctor. Scott?
All right, Ray, thank you. And ABC 7 has been covering this red tide crisis from the beginning. You can find all of our stories online at mysuncoast.com. Let's get a check now on our weather with meteorologist John Scalzi. And great start to the day.
So far, so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so far, so good.
We're in a pattern now.
The east wind? Yeah, it looks like it's locked in here for at least the next 7-10 days, so we're glad to see that.
Yes.
That's certainly a help in terms of the red tide. I've been showing this graphic every day now since the red tide outbreak, and I'm going to continue showing it. It's the Mote Marine Spotter Reports, and it's worthwhile to let you know again what this citizen scientist information is. They send out people who are trained to the beaches to observe, and they do take specific measurements, but they also take subjective measurements, which is to take a deep breath and see if they cough, basically, to find out what the irritation is. And that's what this map is showing. We're looking at Casey Key RebCam right now and showing a pretty nice start to the day with lots of sunshine out there and not much in the way of rain showers. You notice, though, that we have that kind of easterly wind kind of pushing the water away from the coastline, and that has been kind of helpful in limiting the amount of red tide that we're smelling in the air. Right now, everything is quiet in terms of the radar echoes, and the temperature map showing temperatures climbing up to near the 90 degree mark rather. We'll probably top it out at about 92. We'll have a 60% chance of showers and thunderstorms this afternoon, and some of them heavy. Guess I forgot to put that red tide map up there, but we'll get to it before the end of this program, Scott.
All right, John, thank you. New at noon, a growing mystery outside of Houston. A barefoot woman, apparently in distress, seen on a surveillance camera ringing a doorbell in the middle of the night and then disappearing. ABC's Gio Benitez explains why this is just the latest troubling incident caught on a doorbell camera.
What police call a mystery caught on a doorbell cam. People in this Texas neighborhood are concerned after seeing this woman appear on video, then seemingly disappear. They say they believe she looks in distress, without shoes, and with what they think may have been restraints around her wrists.
We still don't know who the girl is, if she's local, if she's from somewhere else. Did she come from within the neighborhood?
Just the look on her face, but she was being very, very quiet. When you see the video, she was being very quiet and looked just distressed.
It was just past 3:30 a.m. Friday when the homeowner says he was awoken by the doorbell ringing, contacting police after viewing that video. Police say they have no idea who she is. The incident eerily similar to this one in Toronto early Thursday morning. A 28-year-old woman captured ringing a doorbell and activating that doorbell cam. Nobody was home, but watch, a man grabs her by the hair.
I think I'm gonna die. Good.
The homeowner says he was shocked when he finally saw it.
I kept playing it over and over and over again because I couldn't believe my eyes.
Police say the woman, said to have been abducted, has now been found safe, but the alleged abductor is still on the run.
That's Gio Benitez reporting right now. Police say they are desperately trying to identify the woman the suspect. They are reviewing other surveillance video from the area and looking at reports of missing people. So far, there's no match. To get the latest breaking news across the world and here on the Suncoast, as well as your first alert forecast, download our apps. Go to your app store, look for WWSB or My Suncoast. Still to come in your Suncoast News, why a new study claims air pollution is not only affecting our lungs, but our brains as well. And then later, an update, you're going to want to hear about a girl in need of a heart who was recently featured in a viral video.
Here's something we bet you didn't know. Nearly half of all cancers can be prevented. That's right, half. Nearly 50%, mostly by making small everyday changes in your diet and controlling your weight, walking more, eating less, and eating foods that help you and your family to seriously reduce the risk of cancer. And of course, by not smoking. Visit the Cancer Prevention Together We Can website and get a free 30-day planner filled with tips, recipes, stats, and more about protecting your family. Go to prevent50.org.
Ready to open up new opportunities as an electrician? Don't do it yourself. Team up with Mr. Sparky instead. We're locally owned and looking for people like you. We offer our electricians great perks that you just won't get going it alone. And whether you're an apprentice, a master electrician, or somewhere in between, we have a spot for you.
Best decision I ever made.
Apply online or call today.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Hello, Mom.
Amanda's mom's appointment just got rescheduled for today. Amanda needs Right at Home. Our customized care plan provides as much or as little help as her mom requires, whether it's a ride to the doctor or help around the house.
Oh, of course. Tom, I am really sorry. I've got to go.
Look, call Right at Home. Get the right care right at home.
Temperatures are rising and the deals are heating up during the summer clearance event at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat in Sarasota. Get KBB's 2017 Best Buy Award overall winner, the Chrysler Pacifica, for just $22,999. Or save big and get the new Chrysler 300 Touring with an MSRP over $30,000 for just $21,999. That's a savings of over $8,000. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat in Sarasota today.
Attention! Do you have Medicare? Do you want to make sure you have the most benefits and lowest possible out-of-pocket costs? You may be able to lower your out-of-pocket costs and get dental, vision, and prescription drug coverage included in your plan. Call the Medicare Coverage Helpline now to find out what you deserve.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jason Buchwald. Over 3 million people have called the Medicare Coverage Helpline, but there are still many people who don't check to see if they're eligible for more benefits and lower out-of-pocket costs. It's so easy. One simple free call could save you money and get you more benefits. Be smart. Call the Medicare Coverage Helpline now.
Call now to see if you may be eligible to lower your copays and get extra benefits, including dental and prescription coverage. Don't delay. Call to see if you're able to save money and get more benefits now. Call 1-800-711-7200. Again, call 1-800-711-7200 now.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
89-degree air temperature, dew point value 74, making it feel kind of steamy out there. That east-southeast wind, a little bit more of a southerly component today. And that's important. It's going to continue to stream moisture in, and I'll tell you, the atmosphere is getting really thick with moisture, and we're developing a line of showers, a fairly intense line of showers over on the other coast, kind of headed this way. So I think we are in line for seeing a good chance at some, again, strong storms. Like yesterday, we had some big storms around, and they did damage down around Venice. They had some hail in Manatee County. But there were basically two large cells Today, I think we have a better chance of seeing a large line of storms move through here that could really give everybody a chance at some fairly heavy rainfall a little bit later on. Put the rain chance at 60%, maybe even a little higher by 3 p.m. And that rain chance carries on till about 7, 8 o'clock until that line of showers moves out in the Gulf of Mexico and dissipates. Then overnight, I think we'll be left with pretty quiet conditions. Right now, quiet in our area, but boy, you can already see that line of storms beginning to take shape and advance in this direction. And some of them, even at this hour, producing some pretty good rainfall. Now, the thing is that as these showers move across the land, they will lose a little bit of their energy. They will start to dissipate a bit, but by the time they get close to our coastline a little bit later in the day, they'll encounter our west coast sea breeze, and boom, they will reinitiate. They will produce some pretty big thunderstorms, I think, as we head into the 4, 5, 6 o'clock hour. High pressure is what's causing this easterly flow, southeasterly flow today, and it's anchored. We are really not going to see that high move too terribly much for the next 5 to 7 days, bringing us that easterly wind. And within the afternoon, the sea breeze developing, producing showers and thunderstorms that just blossom as they move out into Gulf waters. Once that shower line moves into the Gulf, then our rain chance will start to go down, but it'll take until probably 8, 9 o'clock. East wind pattern all week long. West moving storms. You look out to the east, you see the skies darken, you know those storms are heading in your direction. And some of the storms producing some pretty strong weather, I think. This is the amount of moisture available in the atmosphere. Redder is wetter in this map. And it's the entire column of the atmosphere from ground to the top of the sky where weather happens. And you can see the really red and humid conditions that are over us today and through tonight. And maybe the drier air will arrive by later week, midweek or so. But for today and for tomorrow, I think we have excellent chances of seeing some stronger storms around. East wind coming in at about 10 knots today, light chop, 2-foot seas. And the forecast for the week ahead looks like this. Today and tomorrow, I think a 60% chance of rainfall will do it. Some of that drier air that I just showed you on that map may arrive on Thursday, reducing rain chances a little bit. Not a lot, but a little bit. And then that will be gone. Moisture will return and will up the rain chances once again to 60%. Carry that on through the weekend. And as we head into next work week, I think our rain chances still remain high. So that easterly wind flow will continue to bring us those west moving storms with the timing of them later in the day into the evening hours during maximum heating, maximum energy from that heat, and lots and lots of moisture just continuing to ride in on that east-southeast wind. So much needed rainfall here on the Suncoast, Scott.
Definitely is. All right, John, thank you. In Health Smart, air pollution may do more than affect just your lungs. It may also negatively impact your brain. A new study shows breathing polluted air results in a steep reduction in verbal and math test scores. The World Health Organization says 9 out of every 10 people on the planet breathe air that contains a high level of pollutants. The worst regions across the globe, Asia and in Africa. All right, time for lunch, so let's get over to the kitchen and say hello to Chef Eddie Iziri from Apollonia Grill. Eddie, great to see you back in our kitchen. What's for lunch today?
Hi, Scott. Today we'll be doing a grilled steak with roasted cauliflowers and goat cheese.
You want a Maserati, but you need an SUV. Why not have both? Levante, the Maserati of SUVs.
Experience it at Sunset Maserati Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
We've been fighting the war on drugs for a long time. We answer the phone 24/7, 365 days a year. On a busy night, we answer hundreds of calls. This war on drugs needs our intervention.
Since 2014, Addiction Hope and Helpline has helped people struggling with drugs and alcohol.
When the phone rings, we help people when they need it the most. When we get a caller into treatment, it feels right. It feels good. It's a blessing.
If you're struggling, drinking, using, and need to get clean, don't suffer alone in silence. Call Addiction Hope and Helpline.
Our people understand, and many are also in recovery. Call for support and strength. You can call for someone who can't or isn't willing. It's an act of love. Together we can help you beat this thing and erase addiction from your vocabulary once and for all.
Call 800-871-1644. 800-871-1644.
This is an important message for anyone with Medicare. You may be eligible for an all-in-one Medicare plan that combines hospital, medical, and prescription drug coverage together with extra benefits that may include dental, vision, hearing aids, and much more. Some of these plans have a $0 monthly premium regardless of your income. That's right. For one low plan premium, or in some cases a $0 premium, you may be able to get coverage for your hospital visits, doctor appointments, prescription drugs, routine dental care, eyeglasses and contact lenses, hearing aids, and possibly more. Today may be the first time you've heard about this type of Medicare plan. The advisors at the Medicare.com helpline are licensed insurance agents who will explain more when you call. Call now to see if you qualify. Call the number on your screen now. Call now to see if you qualify for these benefits. You worked hard for your Medicare. Now is the time for your Medicare to work hard for you. Not affiliated with or acting on behalf of any government agency or program.
There was this big bruise on my friend's face. I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to think her own nephew could have hit her.
I didn't want to see it. My mother's bank account was emptied, and a caregiver had taken control of it.
I didn't want to see it. My father's refrigerator. There was hardly anything in it. That's unusual for him.
It's tough to see that a senior citizen is being abused, physically, emotionally, sexually, or financially. Elder abuse is a crime.
So see the signs. Stop the crimes.
An update now on a story we first told you about last week. A little girl whose viral video got the attention of rapper Drake is getting some great news this morning involving her health issues. ABC's TJ Holmes explains how this heartwarming story just got even better.
No one wants to spend their birthday in the hospital, but 11-year-old Sofia Sanchez made the most of it, making 2 birthday wishes. First, a visit from Drake, after she posted this video of herself doing what else? The Kiki Challenge.
Oh my God! You asked me to come, I'm here.
I didn't talk for a minute. I was like, what? Is this real or fake? He's like, it's me, Drake.
Then she wished for the thing that would save her life.
And my other wish is to get a heart.
Yeah?
Which is gonna happen soon.
Well, guess what? It happened today. You're getting a heart. Congratulations!
I'm getting a heart, Mom!
Yes, it's amazing.
This morning, both her birthday wishes have come true. The heart arrived at the Lurie Children's Hospital yesterday around noon. 6 hours later, the heart transplant was complete. Doctors say the next 24 to 48 hours are critical, but the surgery was successful. The heart seems happy it's in a new home.
TJ Holmes reporting there. We're hearing the little Sophia is doing well since her surgery and appears to be on the road to recovery. All right, let's get back to the kitchen. John is with our guest today, Chef Eddie from Apollonia Grill. John?
And Eddie's got a smoking hot pan here, so you got something in mind that involves a sear, I'm guessing.
We certainly do. I always say, you know, get your pan very hot, and we certainly achieved that right now.
Good.
All right, so we're going to be doing some grilled steaks. This is one of my favorite steaks because it's a good value on the price. It's a sirloin steak, but it's a top round, so it's on the top part of the sirloin. If you call your butcher, tell him you want a baseball cut. The baseball cut is the best part.
Never heard of that.
Yep, it's the best part of the steak. It almost looks like a filet. And it comes as close to as a filet mignon. So it's really nice and round like that, and it's very, very tender, but yet still got that really beefy flavor that the sirloin does.
And a lot cheaper than a tenderloin?
A lot cheaper. Of course, it's a sirloin. So,
all right.
I got some cauliflowers searing over here. We want to break those down a little bit so it sort of collapses on itself. And then we're going to add some onions to it. I'm going to speed up the process here really quick. We're going to add some onions and some garlic that we have in there. Then I'm going to add some grape tomatoes or cherry tomatoes. 8, 9, 10, whatever you like. And then we're going to sear this really good. We're going to saute it very good. And then we're going to put this in the oven. So I'm going to season that with some
How do you hold a cast iron skillet in your hand like that?
Well, we've done it a few times.
Wow.
Thank you. Well, we've done it a few times, so here we go. It does get pretty hot sometimes.
I would imagine.
And then I grilled one of the steaks earlier, and we're gonna slice it up, and then I'm gonna show you how we plate this at the restaurant.
Okay.
We run this as a lunch special. It's very light, it's very healthy, and good value for the money. So we'll take this cast iron, it's getting hot. I have another one working over here.
So in the magic oven and through the magic of TV, oh, look how pretty that looks. Yeah.
So we got some goat cheese on top. So just before you put this in the oven, you want to put some goat cheese, and then it will sort of melt into the cauliflower. And then as it comes out of the oven, you can just sprinkle some fresh parsley. You could do basil, you could do oregano. Yep, we can turn that off.
Nice.
Ooh, you get a little hot. So we'll slice this up, nice pieces. You could grill the steaks ahead of time.
So this baseball cut sirloin, does it cut the same way as a regular tenderloin, or does it cut like a flank steak or something? Or
no, I mean it cuts really. It's really soft. It's
don't have to worry about
tender.
the grain.
Yeah, so you don't have to worry too much about that.
Okay.
So we'll fan this out.
Nice.
And then we're gonna pair it with our cauliflower.
Smells unbelievably good.
We got a little bit of whipped goat cheese here. I'm gonna set on the side. It's a really nice tanginess to give to the steak and the cauliflower. And I use my spatula or my tongs here to grab some of these cauliflowers to plate this. Now, anytime you have rich, high-fat foods, you want some acidity. In this case, like the steak, it's obviously rich. So we're going to dress this up with some lemon oregano dressing, which we have on the side.
While you do that, I'll pass this over to you. I want to remind everybody that the recipe for this is on our website, mysuncoast.com. Click on the dining button. It'll take you right there with Chef Eddie's instructions. Or you can just go over to the Apollonia Grill and enjoy Eddie making it for you. He's always in the kitchen working hard in there.
Absolutely.
That looks fantastic, Eddie.
There you go.
Thank you so much.
Thanks
Always
for
a
having
pleasure. We'll be right back. Pass me a fork.
There's nothing like this trail in Alabama. It just goes from the northern part of the state to the southern part of the state. We see all kind of different terrains, great value, great fun. We've been coming for 18 years. We started off with a group of 8, grew to 12, and grew to 16. And we love it because where else can you get world-class golf courses with world-class accommodations? To be able to play these type of courses in this environment, and the difficulty keeps us coming back over and over and over again.
If you don't want to fall immediately into love, look away. If you don't want to awaken a desire for excellence, look away. If you don't want to be seduced, please look away.
Rediscover your passion for driving at Sunset Maserati Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
Picking out a new ceiling fan? That's a do-it-yourself. Installing your new ceiling fan?
No.
That's a don't do it yourself. For ceiling fans, rewires, or anything electrical, play it safe. And call on the trained electricians from your locally owned Mr. Sparky. It's no accident that so many of our customers are repeat customers. Trust Mr. Sparky for all your electrical repairs.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Attention, do you have Medicare? Do you want to make sure you have the most benefits and lowest possible out-of-pocket costs? You may be able to lower your out-of-pocket costs and get dental, vision, and prescription drug coverage included in your plan. Call the Medicare Coverage Helpline now to find out what you deserve.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jason Buchwald. Over 3 million people have called the Medicare Coverage Helpline, but there are still many people who don't check to see if they're eligible for more benefits and lower out-of-pocket costs. It's so easy. One simple free call could save you money and get you more benefits. Be smart. Call the Medicare Coverage Helpline now.
Call now to see if you may be eligible to lower your copays and get extra benefits, including dental and prescription coverage. Don't delay. Call to see if you're able to save money and get more benefits now. Call 1-800-711-7200. Again, call 1-800-711-7200 now.
Tomorrow at 9 on Suncoast View.
We love to celebrate, especially our own birthdays. I'm Stephanie Roberts on Suncoast View. We'll raise a glass in honor of Joey Panic with a wine tasting from Michael's Wine Cellar, plus suggestions on what to buy for your celebrations. Joey is scratching something off his bucket list, and it has a lot to do with safety and security. We'll find out what it is. Plus JR's Packing House Cafe in the kitchen.
Tomorrow at 9 on Suncoast View.
Coming up, a new lawsuit targets some Massage Envy locations, including one in Sarasota, what some former customers claim happened to them. Plus, a video game developer cancels some upcoming gaming tournaments after Sunday's deadly shooting in Jacksonville. And the fallout from President Trump's apparent reluctance to praise late Senator John McCain.
You're watching ABC 7 News at 12:30.
Our top story at 12:30, it's primary day across the Suncoast, and if you live in Manatee County, you can get a free ride to the polls today. Right now, MCAT is offering free rides on both primary and general election days. SCAT is not providing any free rides today, but will most likely offer them for the general election in November. It's not too late to cast your vote. Go to mysuncoast.com to find your voting location. And again, until 7 p.m. As a reminder, those polls will be open until 7. Voters selecting party nominees for governor, agriculture commissioner, attorney general, congressional seats, and more. In Sarasota and Manatee counties, voters will also be choosing nominees for several school board and commission seats open. We will be bringing you the results as soon as we get them into our newsroom live in our 7 and 11 o'clock newscast this evening, as well as online and in the ABC 7 app. New at noon, as you head out to the polls today, don't forget about the next generation of voters. ABC 7's Stephanie Webb explains.
Thank you, Scott. Well, you've got your ID, you've got your voter registration, but do you have your littlest citizen? So how can you use today's elections to teach your kids about the importance of voting?
Thousands of us grown-ups will be heading out to the polls to vote today. But what about the next generation of voters, our kids? Now, for the older ones, bring them along if you can. Have them tell you what they've learned about voting in school and show them how the real-life process works to cast your ballot.
Now, as for those little ones, it's never too early to teach them about voting either. In fact, you can take some of those election day practices and use them right at home.
No matter what age your kids are, it's never too early to start talking to them about what a vote is and that their vote counts. You can take a vote on what's for dinner, take a vote on what movie to watch. Dave? No matter what it is, all that really matters is just starting the conversation with your kids and get them excited to be the next generation of voters. Stephanie Webb for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Stephanie, thank you. In Manatee County, an Uber driver is recovering after being attacked by a passenger. Deputies say the Uber driver picked up Anderson Carter in West Bradenton at about 7 o'clock last night and says while driving, Carter began punching the driver and then tried to get into the driver's seat. Fearing for his life, the driver jumped out of the moving car. It all happened right in front of a Manatee County Sheriff's deputy. Deputies say Carter took off in the car before crashing into a vehicle at Whitfield Avenue and 15th Street East and then later crashed into a retention pond. Carter's now facing multiple charges, including carjacking. We're learning new details about why a Manatee County school guardian was suspended. John Chinque has been suspended while the district checks out some social media posts. Some of the posts deal with conspiracy theories and some polarizing comments, and his Facebook page has nearly 5,000 followers. Chinque is a guardian at Canaan Elementary School, one of 20 that started patrolling Manatee County schools just last week. No word yet on when the county could finish its investigation. Happening today, at least 3 local women are joining 8 others in a joint lawsuit against Massage Envy over sexual assault accusations. We spoke to the lawyer handling the case who confirmed 1 woman lives in Sarasota, 2 others live in the Tampa-St. Petersburg area. In the latest claim, 11 women say they were sexually assaulted during massage appointments in at least 5 locations throughout the state, one of those happening in Sarasota. This is a developing story. We will continue to update it on our website at mysuncoast.com. Also happening today, Sarasota County Commissioner is hosting a public hearing on concerns over plans for a new hospital in Venice. It begins at 1:30 at the South Sarasota County Administration Building on US 41 in Venice. Some residents near that site have been openly opposed to the project. Seating is limited, so make sure you get there early to find a seat. Let's get a check now on our forecast. Meteorologist John Scalzi joins us now. The afternoon showers, it's a nice pattern.
I agree.
One we're all familiar with and hasn't happened a lot this summer, though.
No, it hasn't actually,
Yeah.
and I think that's maybe one of the reasons that the red tide has been so impacting the coastline. But I love it. You're right. I mean, it comes at the heat of the day, so it breaks that heat. You know, it gives you some nice, relatively cool, I guess you could say, evenings on the Suncoast for this year, right? Yeah. The 90s don't last that long once you get those thunderstorms going. Speaking of red tide, here is the latest from Mote Marine. Their observations as of around 10, 11 o'clock this morning. Most of the observers go out about that time. Some of them make a secondary trip out during the afternoon, a few observers. We have a generally an easterly wind flow, and there are a few sites showing a reduced amount of irritant in the air at this particular observation. Those places include Siesta Key is down now to a low amount, and Minnesota is coming in with no report of irritant in the air by the observer at this time. We'll see how that plays out a little later on this afternoon when they redo it, some of them, and tomorrow as well. You can see the showers approaching us, thunderstorms approaching us. We have an excellent chance of some thunderstorms around the area today. We'll talk about that forecast coming up in a few, Scott.
All right, John, thank you. Video game developer EA Sports is canceling 3 of its events as it reviews safety protocols following the deadly shooting in Jacksonville. The shooting happened Sunday during a live stream video game tournament. Police say David Katz killed 2 people before taking his own life. Court records show Katz was previously hospitalized for mental illness, and both of the weapons he used were purchased legally just 2 weeks ago from a licensed dealer in Baltimore. An update now on a controversial topic. Should people be allowed to 3D print their own handguns? One judge ruling the answer is still no. A federal judge in Seattle blocking a Texas-based company from posting blueprints online. The State Department originally reached a settlement with gun rights organization Defense Distributed that would allow the release of those prints in July. But several states argued the settlement could put untraceable guns in the hands of criminals. Former Trump campaign chairman Paul Manafort is set to face a second criminal trial. There are new reports today that say he tried to negotiate a plea deal in his most recent trial, but special counsel Robert Mueller raised points that could not be negotiated. Instead, the jury ultimately returned a guilty verdict on 8 of the counts against him in financial crimes. Manafort's trial next month will focus on similar money laundering charges related to his consulting work in Ukraine. Right now, North Korea is warning the U.S. it will resume nuclear and missile activities without a firm commitment to peace. A letter sent from North Korea to the U.S. Secretary of State warns the entire denuclearization process is once again at stake and may soon fall apart. President Trump reportedly canceled Mike Pompeo's trip to North Korea after receiving that letter. New developments out of Washington, where flags have returned to half-staff at the White House, honoring the late Senator John McCain, who died Saturday after a year-long battle with brain cancer. ABC's Marcy Gonzalez has details on plans to honor McCain in his home state and in the nation's capital.
Today, the flag at the White House at half-staff once again after outrage when it was raised early Monday, seen by some as a gesture of disrespect for John McCain, who dedicated his life to serving our country.
Mr. President, do you have any thoughts on John McCain?
President Trump, after repeatedly ignoring reporters' questions.
Do you have any thoughts at all about John McCain? Do you believe John McCain was a hero, sir? Nothing at all about John McCain.
Finally commenting and putting out a statement saying the flag will stay at half-staff until McCain's interment.
Our hearts and prayers are going to the family of Senator John McCain. We very much appreciate everything that Senator McCain has done for our country.
Plans underway to celebrate the life of the 6-term senator, war hero, and 2-time presidential candidate in the nation's capital and in his home state, Arizona.
Our mission has really been to just follow their lead and the senator's wishes. Honestly, I'm very proud to be a part of it.
McCain's office announcing more details, including that his 15 pallbearers for Saturday's memorial service at the National Cathedral in Washington will include former Vice President Joe Biden, former New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg, and actor Warren Beatty. The McCain family not inviting President Trump to any of the week's services. And here at the Arizona Capitol, where McCain will lie in state tomorrow, they are expecting thousands of people to line up in the triple-digit heat to pay their respects. Marcy Gonzalez, ABC News, Phoenix.
Tributes to Senator McCain continue. The Smithsonian's National Portrait Gallery is honoring him by hanging a portrait in its In Memoriam Hall. The National Portrait Gallery says it wishes to honor the life and legacy of the late senator and 2008 GOP presidential nominee. The photograph selected was a black and white 2005 portrait done for a profile in The New Yorker. It will hang in the hall until September 9th. Still to come in your Suncoast News, why new data suggests people are stepping up their retirement savings in record numbers across the country.
Another pair of satisfied emotions. Looks to me like elation and maybe some amazement. It's part of the Honda Summer Spectacular Event experience. You could say satisfaction comes standard here, just like the Honda Accord comes standard with a luxurious, roomy interior. All at the Honda Summer Spectacular Event.
We see it all the time.
Visit your local Honda dealer and test drive the Honda Accord, 2018's North American Car of the Year.
Helping families with mesothelioma is all we do. My firm has been offering a free book on mesothelioma for over 10 years. Since that time, hundreds of people with mesothelioma have trusted us to represent them. We have local offices throughout the U.S. and there is no risk to you. Mesothelioma really is all we do. Call us at 1-800-485-6000. That's 1-800-485-6000. Or go to mesoonlylaw.com.
Did you know you could get life insurance for less than 32 cents a day? With Guaranteed Acceptance whole life insurance through TruStage, you can get up to $25,000 in protection with a single phone call. TruStage can help free your family from immediate financial stress when you're gone.
Utility bills, mortgages, car payments, those are a lot of things that can add up pretty fast.
And even if you're on a fixed income, prices fit your budget, starting at less than 32 cents a day. Plus, your price will never increase and your benefit will never decrease. And with no medical tests or health questions, you cannot be turned down for any reason. Call 1-800-842-7189 now for a free, no-obligation quote. TruStage offers plans to fit your budget. Help protect your family from immediate financial burdens after you're gone with Guaranteed Acceptance whole life insurance through TruStage. Call 1-800-842-7189 now.
My name is Stephen Jaffe. The law firm's name is Farmer Jaffe. One of the beautiful things about Julius is he's always smiling, and it becomes infectious. The fact that Julius has a disability has absolutely nothing to do with the quality of work that he's done. Just a great person you want on your staff.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
Closing in on that 90-degree mark at 89 degrees with a dew point value warm at 74. The combination of those factors giving us a very unstable atmosphere, and with that east-southeast wind continuing to blow, we're watching showers advance in our direction and a sea breeze beginning to form a little later this afternoon. With that late onset of sea breeze and a very shallow sea breeze at that, we can expect to see good chances of showers and thunderstorms, particularly as we head into the drive time hours, and probably the biggest storms pretty close to the coast. 60% chance of storms by 3 p.m. moving into areas of Hardee, DeSoto County, Charlotte County as well, and then eventually into Sarasota and Manatee County as we head into the evening hours and that line of storms advances. Right now you can see them beginning to take shape down here in the southeastern part of the peninsula, moving in this direction. I think we'll start to see them advance into Hardee and DeSoto within the next, probably 2 hours, and then get closer to the coast later on. These storms will tend to kind of weaken a little bit as they approach us because they're moving over land and they're removed from that moisture source. But as soon as they get a little bit closer to us, our west coast sea breeze will kick in, and that will really intensify those storms and produce stronger updrafts. Through 2 p.m., we'll see the storms begin to move into Hardee and DeSoto and then really kind of explode in intensity as they get close to our coast by drive time. Temperatures will rapidly fall off. The storms will move out into Gulf waters. The rain chances will go down and temperatures will fall into the 70s as we head into the evening hours and into the overnight. A little bit of cloud cover will give way to mostly clear skies, I think, by tomorrow morning. This is a pattern that we'll see repeated, I think, day after day this week. Showers, as I mentioned, kind of lessening in intensity as this line approaches us and then picking up again as they get closer to our coastline. Some pockets of those showers could produce over 1-inch rainfalls as we head into the evening. By the way, tropics look quiet. We're watching one area way off the coast of Africa that some models suggest could produce some development over time, about a 20% 5 days from now, with a little wave coming off the African coast. But that's a long way down the road. We have plenty of time to watch it. Certainly no threat for our holiday weekend. East wind coming in at about 10 knots, and the forecast shaping up like this. Today's high about 92. Same thing tomorrow. 60% chance of rain showers both days. As we showed you in the last half hour, a little bit of drier air may sneak in for Thursday, slightly reducing rainfall chances, but certainly not eliminating them. And then as we head into Friday, the rain chances go back up as more moisture returns. That carries us right straight through the weekend with the same pattern. Late day showers and thunderstorms building inland, drifting toward the coastline as we head toward evening. And I think that'll probably carry on into next work week as well. Scott?
All right, John, thank you. In consumer news today, new data shows people are stepping up their retirement savings in record numbers. Mary Maloney has a closer look at this positive trend.
Are you adding more money into your retirement account? If the answer is yes, you're part of the trend. According to a new Bankrate survey, more people are saving more this year than in 2017. In fact, this is the highest rate of increased retirement savings in the survey's history. 28% of employed Americans who were surveyed say they're saving more now than last year. Older millennials ages 28 to 37 are saving the most for retirement. 39% of them reported they're making this a priority. Bankrate recommends saving at least 10% of your income for retirement. They say stagnant wages is the main reason people struggle to save. Financial experts say there are ways to overcome those income-related challenges and still find a way to save for the future. Number one, live a more modest life. This means re-examining your living expenses and how you can lower your bills. Number two, get a side hustle. If you've downsized and your primary job still won't pay you enough to save, it's time to get a second gig. Number three, fight for a raise. If your wages have not gone up in years, then you should ask for more money. According to the job site Career Builder, 56% of employees have never requested a raise. Among those who did ask, 66% of them were successful. For Consumer Watch, I'm Mary Maloney.
Toyota is placing a big bet on self-driving cars, announcing it's investing $500 million in Uber. As part of that deal, the Japanese automaker will work closely with Uber in its development of autonomous vehicles. Uber has been working on self-driving technology, but it hit major bumps earlier this year. The company plans to start real-world testing of that technology in Toyota's Sienna minivans in 2021. Another college is revealing its own plan to offer students some free tuition. The University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign announcing a new program called Illinois Commitment. It's designed to give a college education to Illinois students who may not be able to afford it. The university's website says a student qualifies for free tuition if they are an Illinois resident and their family income and assets are below a certain amount. The program will be open for entering freshmen in the fall of 2019. Instagram and Tinder are taking extra steps to keep millennials in the loop. Both apps, which got their start on college campuses, are now adding features specifically for college students. Instagram is testing a feature that opens up direct messaging between students at some schools. And then Tinder is rolling out Tinder U so users can limit searches to classmates or people from nearby colleges. The new features aim to make the apps more personal and give students an added sense of community. May not quite feel like it here yet in Florida, but fall is in the air, or at least now in your cup. Starbucks releasing its seasonal classic pumpkin spice latte early this year. It usually launches in September, but the coffee chain says you can get your favorite fall fix starting today. The decision to launch pumpkin spice lattes early Could be part of Starbucks' attempt to boost its reputation after a rough year with customer service complaints. Still ahead on your Suncoast News, a massive payday for a man's Disneyland memorabilia collection. How much it all made at auction when we come back.
Get more for your money during the Subaru A Lot to Love event at Sunset Subaru. Subaru vehicles hold their value better than any other brand for 2018, according to ALG. And Subaru is Kelley Blue Book's most trusted brand for 4 years running. The Subaru Outback is an IIHS top safety pick for 10 years running. Lease a new Subaru Outback today for just $249 a month or get 0% financing with 0 down. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
The day you lose your strength is the day you lose your independence. Muscle is lost with age, affecting your energy, balance, and mobility. Before you know it, you're depending on others just to get through the day. But you can reverse and prevent muscle loss. Introducing MyoHealth, a revolutionary proven approach to increased muscle strength and function in as little as 30 days. Live life on your terms with more energy and confidence.
After a serious health issue put me down, MyoHealth's getting me back up again.
I'm doing activities that I haven't done for a long time. It really works.
MyoHealth is a safe, natural dietary supplement, the result of decades of research and 24 human clinical studies. You can live stronger at any age with greater strength, mobility, balance, and energy. Call or go online now and take the MyoHealth 30-Day Strength Challenge.
This is an important message for anyone with Medicare. You may be eligible for an all-in-one Medicare plan that combines hospital, medical, and prescription drug coverage together with extra benefits that may include dental, vision, hearing aids, and much more. Some of these plans have a $0 monthly premium regardless of your income. That's right. For one low plan premium, or in some cases a $0 premium, you may be able to get coverage for your hospital visits, doctor appointments, prescription drugs, routine dental care, eyeglasses and contact lenses, hearing aids, and possibly more. Today may be the first time you've heard about this type of Medicare plan. The advisors at the Medicare.com helpline are licensed insurance agents who will explain more when you call. Call now to see if you qualify. Call the number on your screen now. Call now to see if you qualify for these benefits. You worked hard for your Medicare. Now is the time for your Medicare to work hard for you. Not affiliated with or acting on behalf of any government agency or program.
Once you get atrial fibrillation, you need to have a very close relationship with your primary doctor. Prevention is the whole ball game here, because once you have a stroke, you can't undo it. A year without stroke, it's a year that you can enjoy doing the things that you've worked all your life to finally get to do. You took care of yourself. You did what is necessary for you to be around one more year. And then next year, we'll celebrate one more year without a stroke.
Coming up on ABC 7 News at 4, it's primary election day. Find out how you can still make your voice heard with hours to spare. And then new numbers from Save Our Seabirds, how many Suncoast shorebirds they have now been discovered showing signs of red tide effects. We hope you'll join us later today for ABC 7 News at 4. In entertainment news, a gripping true life tale hits the big screen. A rapper captures the summer song title, and a Disneyland memorabilia auction rakes in millions. Here's David Daniel with the Hollywood Minute.
War is not so terrible for governments, for they are not wounded or killed like ordinary people. Our mission is to speak the truth to power.
Rosamund Pike stars as legendary war correspondent Marie Colvin in the first trailer for A Private War. Jamie Dornan and Stanley Tucci co-star in the docu-thriller, which opens in November.
Kiki, do you love me? Are you riding? Say you never ever leave.
Drake's In My Feelings is the song of the summer. Spotify says the popular track from the Canadian rapper tops its U.S. and global summer lists, with more than 393 million streams between June 1st and August 20th. The big That's from Disneyland auction in Los Angeles had Disney fans singing and reaching for their checkbooks. This animatronic bird sold for $425,000. This Dumbo vehicle went for $483,000, An original Haunted Mansion stretching portrait brought $402,000, and this Skyway bucket car sold for $621,000, a record for a Disneyland ride vehicle. In all, Richard Kraft's collection brought in more than $8.3 million, with part of the proceeds going to groups that help children with special needs. In Hollywood, the second happiest place on earth, I'm David Daniel.
Well, Aretha Franklin just scored her biggest chart hit in 50 years. Her album, 30 Greatest Hits, is now number 6 on the Billboard 200 album chart, her highest slot on the chart since 1968, when the album Aretha Now hit number 3. This marks her 7th top 10 album on the chart, where she went as high as number 2 twice, but never had a number 1 album. Franklin will be laid to rest Friday in Detroit. We're learning more now about how Roseanne Barr's exit from the upcoming series spinoff The Conners will be handled. Actor John Goodman all but confirming the rumor that her character may be killed off. Goodman says his character in the spinoff will be, quote, mopey and sad because his wife's dead. He also said he has not been in contact with Roseanne since the show was canceled. The Conners premieres October 16th right here on ABC. After more than 3 decades of recording song parodies, Weird Al Yankovic finally has a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Born Alfred Matthew Yankovic, he won his first Grammy in 1984 for the best comedy recording for the Michael Jackson parody Eat It. The 58-year-old is also a New York Times bestselling author. He has received 4 Grammy Awards in all, along with 15 nominations. Well, finally, check out these hot wings from New York. What makes them special is not the heat, it is the fact that they're covered in edible 24-karat gold. First, the wings are cooked in a spicy yellow sauce and then coated in 24-karat dust that literally turns them into golden hot wings. For $1,000, you can get 50 wings. If you're not sure you're ready to eat that much gold, you can buy 10 for just $45, if you're into that sort of thing. I just have
that eludes
regular
me.
Wings. Yeah, I don't get it either.
I don't understand. I guess, I don't know. Waste of money.
Have a great day, everyone. See you again at 4.